Alright, so my quilt top came with me to work today. Woohoo, bring your quilt top to work. But because I needed those second borders, so I got a yellow for my inner border. It's going to be about 2 inches. And then this awesome looking blue for my outer border. So that'll be, the greens just weren't quite right. So this one kind of gets those lighter yellows in there without being like in your face yellow, because we had this print in like a brighter yellow, but because all the other yellows in here are so much more on the soft side, it wasn't working. So this yellow it'll be nice little skinny strips with this on the outside. I think that'll look awesome. And then I need to figure out how to quilt it. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Maybe I'll have to look at some new pantographies. We'll see. Yellow border's done. Time to add the blue. Borders are done. I'm quite pleased with them. And so now it's just quilting and binding. So here I've got my channel locked basting line all stitched in. So now I'm going to lay out my quilt top and get that basted in. Last zone was just stitched. I feel like I've been here forever, probably because I have. It's 9:35 and I started my day at 8 o'clock, but nevertheless, this quilt is done. It's going to get bound tomorrow and then done. So then I can come hang at the shop. But here's a peek at the back. I realized I never showed that to you. When I found the border, I really like that one. And then this is actually an Island Batik wide back that we have. As soon as I saw it, I was like, this is perfect. So this is, and I'm going to use the same strips from it to do my binding, because I was planning on this being the binding anyways. But if I have 108-inch wide fabric that I still have leftovers, I'm just going to use that. Time to unpin, pack up, and go to In-N-Out. Well, In-N-Out was a bust. The line wrapped around the whole entire parking lot, and so I drove home. And now I'm gonna go eat some pizza left over from yesterday's painting party. But I guess since I got Chipotle for lunch, this is what I get. Leftover pizza. It's delicious pizza. So I'm gonna go do that. And then we'll be back in tomorrow with some binding. Well, I've got to trim everything up first and then square it up and then bind it with my strips that I'm gonna cut from the 108 wide back. So let's eat pizza and go to bed. So I've got some of my borders that have like a good amount of hangover from where my quilting ended. So I'm probably gonna trim about 1/4 of an inch off my edge, off my borders, just to get them all even. So I'll figure out, line up with here, figure out what it is. It's probably about 4 inches maybe. I can't remember what these were cut as, but trim all those and then put my binding on. And then once the binding's on, I'll have to pick out this a little bit more. I had some thread breakage last night, but that's an easy fix. That's some TV watching and unsewing. And then once the binding's on, this thing will be all done. the building blocks pattern is complete. It turned out super awesome. This book was great. I look forward to using it for many more patterns and projects to see what precuts I have. I actually don't own a lot of precuts, so maybe I'll have to buy some precuts to look at for a while and then use that book. So it takes the 10 squares, Quilter's 10 square precut companion. So it has a whole bunch of quilts in here. Like I just showed you the one, and like this is 2 pages of different patterns, all from Missouri Star, Jenny Doan, super awesome. And then here's another quick peek at the finished quilt. The Island Boutique twin squares were awesome. The colors were great. My only complaint would be that the sizing of my 10 squares weren't consistent with at least this one. I don't know if that's normal for Island Boutiques, but some of them were 10 inches, some of them were smaller than 10 inches. So some of my blocks were pretty close calls as far as my 1/4 inch seam allowance, but it's done. I love it. It's gonna look so awesome hanging up on the wall in the shop. And I've just got to lint roll it now and then take some pictures. So you've made it this far. Now let's go look at some pictures.